So I recently set my account, my entire store, with a 20% promoted listing rate for every listing in the store, just to see what would happen. And I'm going to go over the results of that here on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And as I mentioned to you, this is the follow-up video that I made on Thursday, 31st of August, where I set my entire store, about 550 items, to 20% promoted on everything in the store. Now, real quick, what I did is I set everything as 20% promoted, and I jacked up the prices by 15%. That way, I'm not getting killed because I have my markdown sale. We have the 10% coupon, and all these discounts combined in giving eBay an additional 20%. I figured let's bump up the rates by 15%, which won't be that big of a jump in the price, and let's just see what happens with my account. So I have a pretty good idea as to how things went because I had to do shipping when I got back from my little vacation, my mini vacation, and I'm going to share this with you here. So as we see, here are the results. Now, as I mentioned, this was the last sale. The 29th is the last sale that I had before we made the jump. So you could see there's really nothing going on those 3 days. So as soon as we made the switch to 20%, we had, I believe, a couple sales on that day, the 31st, a couple more on Friday, and you're talking $10, $15 sales. Nothing on Saturday. Sunday, I believe, one sale. Monday, two small sales, and then earlier this morning, one sale. Now, if you compare this activity, right, we're talking probably like $100 versus what I had going on the week prior without a 20% rate. You could see the results are pretty cut and dry. That this here, that 20% really didn't do a whole lot for my listings. Now, again, I always tell you that eBay does not buy your items. Okay, they have no way to control if someone's going to buy your items. All they can do is offer your items more traffic and get your items in front of more people. And of course, that's through impressions. Impressions create page views when someone notices your listing. So it can be a number of ways that eBay does this. Now, if we go into the performance under traffic, and I want to see what this looks like. And as you can see, look here. As soon as I did this on the 30th, it was actually the 30th when I did this experiment. You saw the video on the 31st. So the 30th is the Wednesday. It's a week ago. And as you can see, look at the amount of traffic as compared to previous. I mean, we had Monday was our best traffic day as compared to the 11th of August was around 60,000 impressions. Now, I got to tell you, for anyone who knows what we sell on this other secondary store, it's not good stuff, guys. I'd say at least maybe 150 items are LPs, older records. I think the better ones have already been sold by now, so we have to maybe figure out what we're going to do to lot those up. But this is the impact right here on your listings when you promote. Now, that didn't translate to sales because I'm trying to put lipstick on a pig. Okay, I'm trying to promote, boost my sales by getting these bad items in front of more people. But if there's no demand, it doesn't matter how many people you put them in front of. Yeah, eventually you'll find the unicorn buyer that'll come along and buy your items. So is it worth the extra, I'd say in this case 10%, that I would usually do anywhere from 5 to 10% on this account? So doing every listing at 20%, I'm paying eBay an extra 10% for this boost here in traffic. And is that worth it? Now, to me, it doesn't matter how many people I have looking at my listings. if the money ain't there, and that's why we do it, that's how we keep score in this game, is how much money you're making. If the money I'm making isn't improving, then this is just a bad idea. And it goes to prove to me, it proves to me one thing. You're going to get more impressions. You may get more page views. In fact, if you look down here, my page views did go up, okay? But Saturday, I didn't have any sales, but I had 24% more page views, okay? That's all fine and dandy. So that proves this, that you can bump up your promoted listing rates, but if you don't have the item to back it up, it just doesn't matter. One thing you want to consider, if you use promoted listings already, you could already be up high on page 1 with the rates that you're using. It doesn't make any sense to bump it up above, in my opinion, 10%, unless you're currently at 10%. Let's just say that's my line. I don't know what your line is. Some people it's 15% as your maximum promoted percentage rate. Me, I won't cross that 10% line. Just for now, that's just the way it is. But let's just say you're promoting at 10% and you go to find your item, and the trick to do that is to use a different browser, one you're not signed into, one that doesn't have any browsing history, so you want to clear your cache and all that stuff. And you're going to go in and do a search on keywords that a buyer would use to find your item. Now, hopefully that's, if you have your title set up right, that should be about the first 5 words of your title. And see where your item comes up in search, okay? And try that a few times. Now, if you're promoting at, say, 10% and you're coming up on page 1 within the first, I'd say, 20 to 30 results, then I would say you're probably going to be fine there. Now, you could utilize a higher percentage rate to get closer to the top, but again, this points to me one thing, that this should have worked if I had good stuff to sell, but I don't. And that's the biggest problem with a lot of people right now. We're selling stuff we want to sell so badly. We've done everything that we think we should be doing on eBay, and we're even willing to give eBay more money for promoted listings, and yet we're not getting more sales. We're getting more traffic, we're getting more looks on our item, but it's not good enough to get all that extra traffic, all those extra people who are finding our items in search, and they're just not buying it. And I hope this experiment at least resonates. This experiment makes you think that maybe I need to do some changes on the secondary account. Now, you guys know that this secondary account is my clearance aisle. So my main account, I'm doing great. My scoreboard is really high. Had really, while we were on vacation, had 4 solid days, and that carried over into Monday and today, or actually when I'm making this video today, you're watching this on Wednesday. So all the way through Tuesday, we've had good sales. Much smaller store, higher demand stuff than the stuff that you're seeing here. Play with it, guys. But here's the thing. Sourcing is key. It's number 1 that I've learned from this. Number 2 is that, yes, you can get more people to see your stuff, better placement for your listings, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the right stuff, okay? This didn't really make me any more money. And on the items I did sell, I lost money as compared to what I sold them for last week at 5 to 10% promoted rates. So find what works for you. If you're into the item cheap, then you have more room to promote. But I would be very careful, guys. Set a low promoted rate. Start at 3%. Don't start at 2% where everyone else is that is reluctantly promoting. Start at 3% and work your way up a little bit at a time until you find a place where you're getting the sales that maybe you weren't before. But I could have made this at a 50% clip, and I'm sure I wouldn't have seen much of a difference. I think, too bad that eBay, has an option for 100%, which I think is a little ridiculous. But At some point, you need to draw your own line because eBay ain't going to draw it for you. They're going to make you feel or try to convince you that you need to be promoting at 15, 20, maybe at some point 30% or higher at some point. And they're just trying to get as much money from you. You have to control that for yourself. And I think collectively, we should all, and there's no way to do this as sellers, but I think collectively we should all figure out what that line is and just choose not to cross it. But that's a discussion for another day. So hopefully this gave you some idea. If you haven't watched the previous video, of course, go back and watch the video, put the link up here somewhere. And just to see, what kind of we did, how we did the promoted, the end item sell similar process. But this will give you an idea of promoting, and even if you promote high and you have bad stuff to sell, it's not going to make a difference, guys. You're going to get the same bad results. But figuring all this out without doing these kind of crazy experiments like I'm doing here is just yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you to check out one of these videos. And until the next time, have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon.